Okay, we have a 2010 Ford F-150 FX4. We're just going to do a quick walkthrough using the Xtool D8BT, and we'll see what it's got. We're just going to do an auto scan, and I'm going to do a full system scan. The check engine light is on this vehicle, and the guy wants me to just reset it. He says that he knows what it is. So, and usually I want to show you how fast these Fords are. Look how fast that does a scan. 21, there's a possibility of 21 modules. We're on module 12 of 21. And what I'll probably do is just do a full code reset. So there's 17 modules. We're going to go in here in the PCM. So you can do a DTC report, and it has a real nice layout of you know what the problem is. And he did suspect that the O2 sensor circuit is bad. He said that he had it replaced. The thing is, so I see that it's bank 2 sensor 1. A lot of people, so on these Fords, bank 2 is generally the driver's side, because cylinder number 1 is on the passenger side. I don't know what engine this has got. I hadn't even bothered to pay attention. I did a brake job on this vehicle. Noticed the check engine light was on, so I asked him if he wanted me to take a look at it. He said he knew what it was already. So I told him I could reset it if he wants. He said, yeah, please reset it. That's probably going to come back on, but he's not worried about it. So I was like, all right. More than likely, if they replaced it, whoever replaced it possibly replaced the passenger side, which is bank 1. So anyway, more than likely they replaced the wrong one, but I don't know that for sure. I hadn't even looked at it. Just something to be aware of if you do O2 sensors on not just Fords but other cars. You need to make sure you know which side is bank 1, which side is bank 2. And as far as the PCM, what else we got here? Readiness test onboard diagnostic system is not completed. And then of course we got some other faults, but what we're going to do is we're just going to go ahead and clear all of them, and then we're going to press on with this walkthrough. And if maybe in a prior time he wants me to take a look at that O2 system or O2 sensor, I will. And that failure there is probably going to be this right here, that P1000, which is common. Do you want to exit? Yes, I want to exit. Now we're going to go to, okay, we're going to start off with service, and I'll show you why. On these Fords, service is where you get to a lot of your special functions. So we're going to go to powertrain, and here you know, reset powertrain control module, monitoring system of tire pressure to your transmission, remove transmission adapter. And I'm not going to read everything. I'm just going to let you kind of read through, see what it is. You can reset your oil, your power balance, service function, failure monitor, neutral setting correction. Some of this stuff I'm not sure what it is. I'm not familiar with some of this stuff. Of course, you got your braking, service your ABS, body control module, restraints, security, security, factory keyless entry code, remote keyless entry, PATs. Now your factory keyless entry code, a lot of people want to know if let's say you buy a used vehicle and you don't get the factory entry code, this will tell you what it is. So very easy to now see. You know, I know exactly what the entry code is on this vehicle. I'm sure he probably knows that, but a lot of times you'll buy a used vehicle, you don't get that. And it can be, you can take it to the dealer and they can reset it. Now, what else do we have under security? Remote keyless entry and passive anti-theft, PATs system. That's generally, we're going to hit no to that. Generally where you add keys. We'll go to electrical. Of course, you got your audio. That's what you got there. So now let's go to system selections, where you select the different modules. we're going to start off here. So we've got Actuation Test, and I'm just going to kind of scroll, let you kind of read what this has. Remember, this is a 2010 Ford F-150. More than likely, if you have an F-150 or another Ford around this same year range, you're going to have at least some of these options on this tool for that car also. For instance, if you had a 2011 or 2012, probably going to be the same identical stuff. I don't think they really changed a whole lot during that particular year range. Okay, so now what are we? Tcm Actuation Test. Okay, special functions, ABS, actuation. I'll try to get through this as fast as possible, that way you don't get too bored. RCM, okay, no active test or special functions. And even though I'm going to click on every module, it may not be on this vehicle, so just be aware of that. This is, so whenever you look at all the different modules, hold on a second, let you read that. Whenever we look at these modules right here, this is every module that can be on this vehicle. Does not necessarily mean that all these are on this vehicle. And what I've noticed with this particular tool is, oh, that's probably too fast. Let me, we'll go up to about there. Let you kind of get a glimpse of that. Now this is the instrument cluster, actuation test. Special functions. What was I saying? Oh, what I've noticed is on some vehicles, like for instance, if this didn't have an HVAC module, some vehicles it'll say cannot communicate and you can't go any further. Some vehicles it'll actually go into the option menu of, you know, even though the module may not be there, it'll go to the options and let you see what options you would have if it did have an HVAC module. So that was the HVAC, and this obviously does have an HVAC module. But okay, special functions. And you know what? Let's go back to the HVAC module because I don't know. Okay, so it just had the actuation test. So okay, I couldn't remember if it had special function. We did the audio control module. We don't have any actuation tests here, but we do have some special functions. Okay. DCSM. Okay, so for instance, on this Ford, it tried to communicate with it, it couldn't, so it's not going to go any farther. Like I say, some vehicles it'll go ahead and go in as though the module's there. But then if you click on, say, to actually do an actuation test or to read live data, it wouldn't be able to communicate at that point. So, okay, this is driver's seat module. And I think there was, what, 17 out of 21 modules on this vehicle. Like, that's the second module that we wasn't able to communicate with. So this was the FCIM, FDIM, so you can see this D8, I mean it really has quite a few active tests and special functions. I mean it is a very impressive scanner. For what you pay for this, it's hard to beat. I'm pretty sure this does not have power running boards. In fact, I know it doesn't. And transfer. Okay, it is 4-wheel drive, so we should be able to communicate with that. Now, the one thing, if you own a Ford 4-wheel drive, then you're probably familiar with the integrated wheel end. This does allow you, and I have used this troubleshooting these Ford 4-wheel drive systems. This will activate the relay, the solenoid, for the IWEs. So it's very handy to troubleshoot the 4-wheel drive system on these Fords using this tool. And that's about it. That was all the modules. We looked through the service information. One thing that I've started showing on some of these walkthroughs is a lot of people want to know where the IM readiness monitors, if this is able to show you that, and it is, but you don't want to go under manufacturer specific. You just want to go under regular generic OBDII, which is right here. Once you go under OBDII, I usually just do an auto scan. Now, a lot of times you'll have a couple different options right here. My Autel never does this. My Autel goes straight to it. For some reason, the Xtool kind of leaves you guessing. I don't know which one of these it is, so what I usually do is I'll just hit the first one. Now, if you go to IM readiness, the way you can tell, so if you go to monitor driving this driving or status, if you go down, like, okay, if you notice that the IM readiness on this, almost every one of these are NA. Well, you know that ain't right. So we're going to go back. We're going to hit, let's go ahead and hit this one. See, same thing with that. So we're going to hit back. We're going to hit back. That is not the correct, I guess that's a module. I'm not sure exactly what these represent, if it's one version of a module or what. But if we hit the next one, and you hit IM readiness, now you hit this. Now you can see you've got OK, 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 incomplete for the catalyst monitoring, incomplete for the EVAP, incomplete for the oxygen sensor. So you can see you're on the right IM readiness screen in the right module. So same thing with this one, except you can notice that most of them say incomplete because it's for this driving cycle. So let's see. This is where you can do a real quick code read. It'll show you some live data, which is all generic, not any manufacturer specific stuff. Some vehicles have got a component test. Some vehicles, this mode's not supported. You got your O2 monitoring test. So OBDII generic is something to keep in mind. A lot of people forget to go to this page. Because if you go to auto scan, that's manufacturer specific. Anyway, I'm done talking. That's the meat of this particular scan tool. A very capable scan tool. If you need a good scan tool and you're willing to spend about, I think these are about $700 or so, very worth it. If you've got more than 2 or 3 of your own personal cars, I would say invest in one of these. That way you're going to be able to have a better chance at troubleshooting it yourself. Or if you work on cars on the side, the way I do, you need a good scan tool nowadays to be able to troubleshoot stuff. But anyway, I'm done. You guys take care. Again, this was a 2010 F-150 FX4. It is a V8. Not sure which one it is, but it is a V8 engine. And I'm done. You guys take care. Till the next time.